My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Warrior Season 2, and this will have spoilers for the first season, but not for the second one. So if you haven't seen the second season, you're still clear to watch this review, but if you haven't seen the first one, go ahead and watch it, then come back and watch this review, because I will be talking about the second season, like I already said. But anyways, I like the first season of Warrior quite a bit. It's not without its issues, but I still thought it was a good, solid season of television. And this is a bit more of the same. Lots of the same things I loved about the first season, I loved about the second season. Lots of the same issues I had with the first season continue on to this season. So, it's a very consistent show so far, but I will say once again the standout of this show is Andrew Koju. He's absolutely incredible in this show. He's a star in the making. He's just got charisma for days. He's super likable, but he's a complete badass when he needs to be. I just think he's really fantastic in this show. We also got Jason Tobin, who I really liked in the first season, but I think his performance is even better in this second season, and that might be due to the fact that he's given a bit more to do, but still really good regardless. Then we got Diane Doohan, who, I'm going to be honest, I criticized her performance in the first season, but I thought she was much better in this second season. I thought she was really good here. Then we also got Chen Tang, who plays a new character named Hong, and I thought he was really good. Then we also got Hoon Lee, who plays Chow, and I think he's really good here. He's just got this sophistication to him, and like anytime someone touches him or tries to beat him up, it just feels like they shouldn't be allowed to do that. Like, he's untouchable. Like, you can't touch that guy. But I do think the performance by the actor is really good. I think Dustin Nugent as Zing is really great here. He's really menacing and badass. Joel Taslim's great as Li Long. I thought he was really good here. And Dean Jago is in this season a lot more, and I also thought he was really good. The performances are consistently great. Everyone does a great job. Some better than others, mainly Andrew Koji, but everyone's at the very least good in the show. I also love the direction they took with the story here. At the end of the first season, Sam got beaten up really badly. His sister ordered for him to be killed. And then his new family, his new gang, just kind of leaves him in the dirt, and he feels betrayed by everyone. So seeing how that shaped him in this season was just fascinating to see. He is meaner, he is badder, and he's ready to take on anyone. Like, the conversations with his sister early on, and even you can see that she's afraid of her brother. And rightfully so. Like, she understands the weight of what she did, that she ordered her own brother to be killed. And Assam is furious, rightfully so, but he's also furious with his own gang because they left him afterwards. So you're really rooting for him here because you understand the betrayal that he feels, and it just allows this season to be a lot more interesting than the first. And once again, like, the monsters Sam and his sister are just fantastic moments. Like, there's one moment where she's talking about how she could feel his wrath, and that's such a great moment. The action is once again fantastic. This is some of the best action on television today. There's one scene where a guy literally punches out another guy's heart, and I'm just like, holy shit, like, that's awesome. There's some really brutal fight scenes. There's some incredibly well choreographed fight scenes. Just all around, the fight scenes are fantastic. And I do think this season had a lot more great episodes of television than the first one. There's just a few episodes that I just found to be thrilling, intense, and completely badass. Especially the second last episode. I thought that was really great. And not to give too much away, the character Penelope and where she ends up at the end of this season felt like a horror movie to me, and I'm really curious to see where they take her in future seasons. But once again, just like the first season, it cuts away to all these cops and all these different supporting characters, and I don't find any of them to be as interesting as the main storyline with Sam and what's going on with him. Now, I will say the stuff involving the supporting characters was better than the stuff with them in the first season, but I still don't think it's all that great of stuff. It's definitely a huge decrease in quality when it focuses on those characters and those storylines. And this adds even more characters, even more storylines, and it's just like, okay, you're adding in a bit too much. Like, I'd rather this show be a half hour to 40 minutes long, focusing mainly on Sam and his storyline, and focusing on the rival gangs, and just keep it focused on that. The cop storyline, no matter how hard they try, it's just not that interesting of stuff. And I was debating whether or not I'm going to say this, but you know what, I'm going for it. So, you know, it's 2021, well, by the time this review comes out, it's 2022, every show has to have a bunch of gay people in it now. It's just the way Hollywood works now, and it doesn't bother me when it's just like, it feels authentic and it doesn't feel like they're just trying to check off a checklist or whatever. But there's a few times in this season where you can just feel that, yep, they're checking off a checklist. Let's make those two characters lesbians, let's make this character gay. And the thing is that it feels so tacked on, it feels so forced that it completely takes you out of it. It just feels like every studio head just, whenever they're talking about the show, they're like, okay, how many gay people do you got in it? Only one? That's not enough. You gotta raise those numbers, those are rookie numbers. And for the most part, it doesn't bother me, but here it just feels so forced, and it's just like, oh yeah, well, of course they gotta get the representation in it, you know, they have to do that. You know, it's not like this show already deals with sexism and racism, but, you know, you gotta add in homophobia too. Yeah, I know people aren't gonna like that criticism of mine, but I gotta be honest. Also, I'll say that there's one episode where the characters go to a fighting tournament, and it's definitely a filler episode, kind of like how the Western episode in the first season was a filler episode, but that episode was the best episode of the first season. And it looked like this fighting tournament episode was going to be the best episode of the second season. But in the second half of this episode, it goes in an unexpected direction that just didn't work for me. It tries to do something more meaningful with a certain character, and yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. And one last problem I have with this season is that there was a big revelation in the last episode. Like, it's a huge moment for all the characters. And it just kind of comes out of nowhere. There's no build-up, and they even purposely point this out, but I was still left underwhelmed by that huge moment. But this is a damn solid season of television. I think it's a bit better than the first season, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Andrew Koju is so fantastic here. The action's great, the storylines and the characters are compelling to watch, even if there's a bit too much going on and a few too many supporting characters, but I still get quite a bit of an entertainment from this show, so I'm gonna go ahead and give Warrior Season 2 a 7 out of 10. Okay, before you comment, Gavin, you said you liked it a bit more than the first season. Why did you give it a lower rating? I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm changing my rating scale completely. So the first season would get a 7 out of 10 in retrospect as well. So just so you know, I know it's a bit messy, but hey, I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm still trying to figure out my videos, my rating system, and all that fun stuff. So there's your explanation. But have you seen Warrior Season 2? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin,